Minister of Energy Dr. Roodal MOONILAL fires back at Stuart Young. He needs a job. This was Energy Minister Dr. Roodal MOONILAL's response to former Prime Minister and Energy Minister Stuart Young's criticism of the government's energy initiatives, including a gas partnership with Suriname. Following a site visit to the UWI South Campus in Dabe on Tuesday, MOONILAL responded to questions from the media about gas discussions with CARICOM neighbors. He said that Suriname is slated to have its general election and talks will continue with that country with respect to an ongoing interest in a pipeline from Suriname to Trinidad. MOONILAL clarified that there was a misunderstanding about the feasibility of a regional gas pipeline and refuted Young's claim that such a pipeline would have to pass through Venezuelan waters. Said MOONILAL, the former energy minister is wrong. There is a model to run the pipeline outside of Venezuela's waters. It is quite common with international commercial arrangements and international law to run a pipeline through other territorial waters belonging to several countries and on land. In fact, there are pipelines that run through Eastern Europe, Western Europe, everywhere. In a Facebook post yesterday, Young took issue with MOONILAL's comments as he noted that the minister was quoted in the newspapers as saying that I am wrong and that a pipeline to get gas from Suriname and Guyana to Trinidad and Tobago does not have to cross through Venezuela's territorial waters. He says that there is an option to run a pipeline outside of Venezuela's waters. Young said the feasibility of any pipeline project depends on a number of factors. It has to be cost-effective, and the cost of landing the gas in Trinidad and Tobago has to be at a price that the local market will buy it at. We did feasibility studies a couple years ago, and the cost of building a pipeline from Suriname, assuming there is sufficient gas to export, which there was not as yet, to land in Trinidad and Tobago without traversing Venezuelan territorial waters would not make any commercial sense. In other words, it would be way too expensive to build a pipeline from Suriname that does not run through Venezuela's waters, adding to the cost of landing the gas in Trinidad and Tobago, and no one would be able to afford the gas. It simply is not commercially feasible, he said. Young said it is critical that the population of Trinidad and Tobago not be misled by the government with respect to the future state of the energy sector. He stated, misleading the population in this area is not an option as the investors are global companies who closely monitor government utterances. It is concerning that for every single initiative suggested by the government to secure future gas supply is simply not feasible at this time or even in the medium term.